I am in college. Should I wait to finish school before getting a job, or should I do something along the way? Which course should I do in order to fast forward my career in architecture? 7 years is way too long for studying one thing. What do you think is the best way to start 3D and get a job as a 3D artist? At what point can I consider myself an artist, since I mainly do architecture renderings and those are not as artistic as, say, movies or video games? Every week I get a lot of messages like this from people that are trying to make it in the industry. So now I'm gonna tell you a story.
Hello?
Willy, c'est Fabio, ça va?
Ah, comment ça va? Tu veux venir?
Oui, je vais venir. Est-ce que tu as le temps?
5 minutes et 10 minutes?
15 minutes?
15 minutes, ok.
D'accord, j'arrive.
Voilà, au revoir.
À tout à l'heure. Bye bye, bye bye. It's my neighbor. He speaks French. He's also my barber. I need a haircut. Willy, est-ce que tu me peux faire beau?
C'est trop difficile.
As a kid, since I can remember, I loved drawing. My parents instead, they never really saw drawing or arts in general as a way for me to make money. So since I was a teenager, they pushed me towards studying economics and tourism business. You know, this is not a rant and I'm not complaining. They had my best interest at heart. What do you think about my haircut? So at the age of 22, after about 4 years doing professional sports as a skier, I was in the military, I was very good, I ranked very high in my category, I won trophies. Then I decided to make the natural transition from being an athlete into becoming an instructor and a coach for younger athletes, but that didn't work out, so I ended up quitting. So by the age of 22, I basically had no proper education, no practical skills, and I was very confused actually. And that's when I decided to leave. So, where were we? Oh yeah, that's right. I was confused, I didn't have a proper education, so I decided to leave. I decided to leave home again. The first time that I did it was at the age of 19, but that's of course another story. And then I started to travel around the world. I didn't have much money, so the easiest way to do it was by working any job that I could find and getting just enough money so that I could keep on moving around. By the age of 23, I found cooking. At that time, I thought that this was what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. At the age of 24, after I worked already for some very big names like Jamie Oliver, Gordon Ramsay, in my heart, I knew that I was going to be the next big chef. Then at the age of 25, I quit my cooking career and started studying architecture instead. Somehow I always felt like I wanted to go back to drawing like when I was a teenager. And at the same time I was looking for some practical ways with which I could make my passion become my job. By the age of 26, I was already working part-time in an architecture office as a designer, and I completed and won my first planning application for, I think, an 11 units building in London. My boss, since I was not that young anymore at the time, he really thought I was finishing my professional practice in architecture, so he made me work on that project all by myself and never asked one single question. You can imagine his surprise when I told him that I didn't even have a bachelor degree back then. Then a year later, I met the woman that then ended up becoming my wife. Together we decided to move from London to Austria and start yet again another adventure. In Austria, circumstances that I've already discussed before in other videos led me to develop an interest in 3D and visualization, and eventually to working on creating the D2 conference, as well as these YouTube channels and all the stuff that you guys already know. At the time of recording this video, I have moved more than 15 times house. I lived in about 10 different countries and had about 7 major career shifts. Don't worry, I'm gonna get to the point. People reach out to me with the hope to get some help and guidance with their career path, thinking that myself, for some weird reason, I have it all figured out. Somehow they believe that their struggle is unique and that they are the only ones feeling lost. So Here's the good news. Life happens for everyone, so you are not alone, and you should not feel alone. Your confusion might just be only in your head. What might look like success to you might not be success for the people that are experiencing it. I get it. You're just trying to find ways to jumpstart your career as an artist and are afraid to make wrong decisions. Being confused and questioning your own path is the consequence of living in an always growing, progressive society where competition is high and where there is always too much choice. So don't think that this is only your problem. The only way for you to achieve your goals is to keep focused and work really, really hard. There are no shortcuts on the path to your goals other than an awful lot of hard work. Sometimes we look at others, we try to emulate them. For example, we look at some international renowned artists and say, well, that's who I want to be. So we start a journey thinking that all we need to do is going from point A to point B. And doing this, we completely omit the fact that actually in between point A and B, there are so many variables that can make us lose the focus and lose control over our final objective. And you know what? Losing control is the beautiful thing in life, and you should make the best out of it. In the quest of you trying to become who you want to be, you will work hard, but you will still get lost. You will make great and beautiful things, but you will still have doubts about yourself. People will look up to you with respect for the work that you do, but deep inside you will still struggle understanding who you are. But that's okay, because no matter what, you just keep moving. There is no way on earth, me or anyone else for that matter, can tell you what your next move can be. If there is something that you really, really like and you want to pursue in your life, you are in charge of making that happen. It is up to you to find a way. If things change along the way, you need to understand that that's okay. The only suggestion I can give you when it comes to making important decisions is for you to focus on things that make sense economically. Money is not necessarily the goal, but rather a tool that can help you to get where you want to be. So be wise. If you do feel lost or stuck in a dead end and don't know how to proceed or how to make the next move, then stick your head out of the noise. Stop looking around you and stop comparing yourself to others. Focus on what used to be your primary goal and simply start moving in that direction. No matter what you decide to do, the important thing is that you do something. Because, as I always say, the difference between those who do and those who don't is those who do. See you guys next week.